Maurice the Minotaur climbed out of the labyrinth. He blinked and covered his eyes. The bright, pure daylight was something he'd never experienced before. The light itself was a challenge, but he knew he had to escape. All his life, people had told him that it was his destiny to be a monster hidden in the darkness. It's a job, his dad said. The pay's reasonable, and you get to eat fresh meat now and again. It was good enough for me, his dad reassured him. He wasn't called Muncher the Minotaur for nothing, and he was rather overweight, all that fat and carbohydrate. But Maurice knew there had to be something more. He'd heard tales of blue skies and perfumed flowers blowing in the breeze. He caught a scent of freedom, and he persevered in the bright light as he crawled away from the labyrinth entrance. But as dusk was falling, he wanted to rest, and he sat down on a park bench. Unwittingly, with his large bulk, he sat on a shocked and scared Hare. "Oh, I'm sorry," boomed Maurice, in a voice that frightened her even more. Feeling like a self-conscious adolescent on his first date, he shuffled uneasily on the bench and tried to sound sophisticated and deep. He boomed, "My name is Maurice." "My name is Henrietta," replied the Hare, thinking her life expectancy was growing again. "I'm trying to find a way out of this country, trying to find the place where I really belong and be the person I was meant to be." Cracking pair of ears, by the way, he added with a touch more sophistication. Henrietta felt more hope arising in her heart and tentatively replied, "Me too. I'm trying to find my way home too."
Just then, the conductor appeared with a malevolent glint in his eye. "There is no bus. Go to the signpost."
Henrietta and Maurice got to the signpost and looked excitedly up at it. "Hey, look at all those countries." "Let's go to Kenya," Maurice cried. "No way," said Henrietta. "It's too damn hot there, and the cheetahs can catch me." "Let's go to Annecy then," said Maurice. "Loads of green pastures and beautiful young French cows." They just couldn't agree. Exasperated and tetchy, they argued and finally stormed off in opposite directions. Maurice went west, crossed the Atlantic, missed the sign to Cheltenham, Pennsylvania, and ended up in a cattle container sailing across the South China Sea, and found himself unexpectedly at Hare. In the meantime, Henrietta had gone east, found herself on a boat that was passing up the Bosphorus into the Black Sea, but with no food on board that she could eat. She jumped ship and discovered that she was in Sochi. They were both lost, hungry and scared. They had bad dreams, and then a recurring nightmare.
In each dream, the ferryman appeared and said, "You won't get anywhere here. Find the red door in Cheltenham." Henry and Maurice went back to Cheltenham. They searched all the streets of Cheltenham for the red door. Hales Road, Wadden Road, Cromwell Road. They were exhausted. "It'd be easier to find the door to Narnia," said Maurice, slumping onto the curb. "Can I help?" The conductor appeared. He appeared to them as a policeman. "We need to find the red door. Try Gloucester Road," said the conductor. "Thank you," said Henry. "You're welcome," said the conductor. "A man will welcome you." At Gloucester Road, they saw a man in a bowler hat who beckoned them through a red door. "Thank you," said Maurice. "You're welcome," said the man in the bowler hat. He sounded familiar, thought Henry. They stepped inside, and the door slammed shut. Darkness wrapped around them, and Henry and Maurice were seized with panic. I can't see," said Maurice. "I can't see either," shouted Henry. "And I thought you worked in a labyrinth. Surely you're used to this. But this is a darkness so deep, even I can't find my way out of this room," said Maurice. "Then we're stuck forever," said Henry. "Well, we'll never find the salmon of knowledge on the way home now." Henry and Maurice began to shiver. A coldness gripped their hearts.
Henrietta and Maurice thought back to the ferryman. The ferryman developed a relationship with Henrietta and Maurice. The ferryman's compassionate heart and kind eyes and gentle voice and simple language they remembered, and they opened their own eyes and ears and heart to the truth planted in their hearts. Both Henrietta and Maurice chose to follow the path of peace and joy.
The ferryman led them back to the door and showed them a red door and opened it. The door you want is opposite. Henry and Maurice walked through the new door. There in front of them was a haze of bubbles.
A strange object appears hanging above Henrietta and Maurice. A clock is suspended in the air, and suddenly they see the salmon of knowledge. It's 11:55, and they know from the ferryman that they can make a wish when the clock strikes 12. Then the salmon of knowledge will grant them their heart's desire. Henrietta says, "We've been on a long and tiring journey," and she can sense that Maurice is angry. "The conductor misled us, and now I want to go home." The clock strikes 12, and they think of where they came from and longing to see their families. Blue bubbles appear from the mouth of the fish, and magically they are transported home. Henrietta feels green grass below her paws, and Maurice stands firm in his position as guard outside the labyrinth.